So good morning, everybody. Welcome to the 11th Frappeverse. Very excited to invite you one more time. I've done this enough times now. And yeah, I'm very happy we are starting on time. And usually, there is always a glitch in the opening talk. So I'm really happy that we are starting on time and everything is perfectly set up for an amazing Frappeverse. We are on really super partners meetup yesterday. Looking forward to carry this same energy into today's Frappeverse. So again, welcome everybody. Uh, my job here is to just give you a precursor to all the amazing talks that are going to come after me, and just kind of zoom you into this current moment, like from where the state of the world and the place of Frappe in this world, right? Uh, so this year was like particularly crazy for the world. I I mean, if you pick up the newspaper or you pick up, you go on some, your favorite YouTube channel, like the world is unraveling, right? Governments all over the world, there is unrest, protest. And this was kind of predicted by this historian Francis Fukuyama. He had written this essay called End of History. How many of you have heard of the End of History? Okay, not many. So what Francis Fukuyama said is that if you look at the last 100 years of world history, there was a war between fascism and the rest of the world, and then that was the Second World War, and then fascism was defeated in the Second World War, and then there were two competing philosophies that remained. One were democracies and one was communism. So that led to the Cold War between United States and Russia, and that Cold War ended with the fall of the Berlin Wall and in 1989. And at that point, Francis Fukuyama said, we have reached the end of history. Means that living in liberal democracies is the ultimate human civilization. Like people having, basic rights, basic freedom of expression, freedom of, general liberty to do whatever you want, as long as obviously you're not harming anybody else, right? And then that was considered to be peak civilization. And then he argued that from here, things can only get worse. Like we will never get it better than liberal democracies. And people laughed at him then, I mean, like he was like how can this be end of history? And then COVID happened, right? Till 2020, like I think civilization peaked in 2020, and then things just started unraveling after 2020, right? Uh, and like forget the political situation across the world, the wars that are being fought, the unrest, and all of that. But there is also, like, even if you look at the state of technology and capitalism, that has also become very weird, because the kind of technology you have seen before was like there were two inventions that were either helping us things make better things, do our work faster, communicate, create entertainment, create art. But since 2020, some of the or more lot of the technology that we are kind of creating is worsening the state of affairs, right? I mean somebody coined this term enshittification, right? I mean things are going to worse. Like think of cryptocurrencies and blockchain that you saw earlier, and now this whole thing of generative AI, where we are just seeing worse and worse and worse kind of content being created and shared on the internet, right? And this is the world we currently live in. And in the middle of this world, uh, we exist. We are a small community here, and what I've seen is, like, we continue to grow. Frappe continues to grow year on year with the biggest community we have in the Frappe ecosystem is Frappe School, where now 60,000 people have signed up to take courses on Frappe School, and that's like a good number, right? And then we have 20,000 sites on Frappe Cloud, the cloud that we manage, and there are like several official partners, and like Frappe itself now publishes 25 products. So 11 years ago, when we were like 50 people in a conference, to today maybe 500, 600 people coming to a conference, I think we've grown multifolds, and we have also become full stack. Like, we started with ERP Next, which is still our flagship product, still gives us all the bread and butter, all the work. But then as we were able to build like a very good team, attract amazing talent, we also started building multiple apps, like mostly for our own need. Uh, Want to give shout out to a couple of apps, like how many of you use Frappe Builder, for example? Great. I'm happy. Yeah, quite a few, right? So Frappe Builder is such an amazing product. Like, it's one of my favorite Frappe products. We have 500. The Frappe website has been a 2-year project for us, and we have more than 500 pages, and a lot of them have been very carefully crafted. Not by too many people, but just because we had this amazing product builder, we were able to build this product. And my other favorite product is Frappe Insights. Like, how many of you use Insights? Great. I think Insights is amazing product. Frappe completely runs on Insights. We use so many all our charts. We are a well-run company because we are heavily using Insights, right? So we build all these products for ourselves, and uh, and we're very proud of these products, and we want to share these products to everybody, right? And then we went further, right? We said, can we build better developer tools? Like, can we, like, because we are in this business of creating software, can we improve the tooling? Like, we always owned the tooling because of framework, but now we are building Studio and a lot of other products that you will see over the next couple of days. And then we also started building the productivity suite, right? And that's in the other very exciting I tell people, like, never build products with interns, but nobody in Frappe believed that we could build a productivity suite in-house, so we got an intern to start building it. But now we have a good team that's building it. And obviously we have Frappe Cloud, the platform that empowers all our products to be shipped, not want to use the word, but ship them comfortably to all of you. uh, Yeah, and this is how the talks are also going to proceed. So we've broken up the talks, the Frappe developer keynotes, into these 5 categories. So you will hear, day 1 is going to be about enterprise apps and business apps, and day 2 is going to be about developer tools, productivity, and Frappe Cloud. Yeah, this year was also in many ways landmark year for Frappe. We moved into a new office, like, after a very, very, very long time. I think we delayed this decision too much because of COVID and remote work, hybrid work. So we weren't sure, like, what's the future of work. So we moved into a new office. Gives a very different feeling, a feeling of permanence, a feeling of never realized that how spaces can affect you. And this was, I think one of my colleagues said, like, oh shit, just got real, right? With the office. So that was kind of sums up the feeling in Frappe today. I've also posted this on on my social media that we became profitable this year. Like, this is also something that took a long time coming. Like, took 17 years to come. We were kind of break even for several years, and suddenly this year we are, like, genuinely profitable. And this gives us a lot of responsibilities now. Like, we had one capital infusion in 2020, but we didn't end up really spending it because, like, the DNA of the company is still, like, you spend what you earn. Like, you don't want to spend money just like that. But now we are earning money, and I'm realizing how hard it is to spend money. It is something that we are learning, and hopefully we'll do a good job of it, like, in the coming years. And then where do we spend the money, right? I mean, the most important thing we realize, and the biggest factor in everything we do is, uh, at least the way Frappe looks at it, is quality. Like, the way we have defined our narrative is, like, our growth is completely dependent on how good quality products we are able to ship. And this is right outside our office, when we walk out of the station, and this is how it looks, right? Like, I would say, like, 70% of the people in this community, like, we are here in Mumbai, but even we have a lot of community across the globe, but 70% still comes from India. And this is the culture we live in. And I think as Indians, we haven't figured this thing out, like, how to do good quality work. It's not part of our culture to appreciate good quality and make that the default way of working. So, the example I gave is, every day we wake up, and we somehow the ad companies have made sure that we brush our teeth every morning. I don't know how useful that is, by the way, but maybe now we have gotten used to the taste, or maybe they put some addiction stuff there. I don't know, but, like, we don't forget to brush our teeth, like, but we forget to do good quality work. Like, it shouldn't become, like, the heart of, for the future of Frappe is to get this piece right. Is somehow rise from this culture. Rise from this culture to kind of do better quality stuff. And we talk a lot about motivation in Frappe, like why should you do things, right? I mean, there we always like the default conversation is Frappe is always existential, like why you want to do it, like ultimately. But so a lot of the things we do are the things that we want to do, but then there are things we have to do because they need to be done. The dark corners, the edges, right, that need to be polished, that need to be cleaned up. And this is where this is also where we struggle as a company, and we realize that if we have to so doing our new office was again a great experience for us, because I realized like even setting up a smallish medium sized office is so hard. Like there are so many things you have to get right. There are zillions of vendors, there is like there are corners and there are nails, and everything has to be in the right place, right, in the right color combination. We had to repaint some things because the vendor screwed up the paint shade, right? And it does not happen without planning, right? It does not happen without metrics, it does not happen without management. And management is something we had been avoiding like for the longest time. Somehow we have appreciation for management now. We still believe the 70% that you want to do should be completely self-managed, but then the other things that need to be done are also our responsibility, and this is something that we cannot let go if you want to achieve a great ecosystem and a great product. So last last year, obviously before coming, I reviewed my last year's talk, like, and then I left the community with two questions like that I had in my mind. One is, what kind of company do we want to become, and what kind of community we want to become, right? I think this year we have a lot more understanding of what kind of company we want to become, and we did a small event just last month to find out who other companies that operate like us, right? And one of the core values the way we describe ourselves is a democratic company. And why democratic, right? There is some uh, there is an ecosystem for self-managed companies, and self-management is beautiful when you are talking about yourself, but not everything is about doing your work, right? It is about collaborating with others. It is about coming to decisions, common decisions, right? Most important, like how do you distribute profit, right? I mean, those decisions cannot be self-managed. They have to be somehow, we have to agree to take decisions and move forward. And so we believe we are a democratic company, and I think a great way to describe a democracy is like you value two things. One is you value diversity. Like you genuinely value differing opinions. You value a garden where there are multiple types of flowers, right? You value people with different ideas. Like there is no monotheism. Like there is no one theory that rules all. Like a lot of people can have different ideas and they can all be right. And the only way we resolve our differences is through dialogue. So if you believe in these two things, I think this beautifully sums up what a democracy is. Like first, you appreciate diversity. You welcome diversity. You think it's a good thing. Like diversity is a good thing. I know the world is going in the other direction, but like we like to believe diversity is a good thing. And then the way we resolve differences is through dialogue, right? And then we also adopted a constitution. We just published it at frappe.io/constitution, and broadly, this is how we take, the highlights of the constitution are, our core values is about freedom and excellence. And then people pick their pay and their work. Long discussion, I will not go into it. And then the decisions are taken by either consensus or by consent or by voting. So, if nobody has any objection to any decision to be taken, that is also considered to be consent. Or, if there are differences, then we ultimately go on a vote, and we go for a 70% vote. So, it broadly towards consensus. And we believe that in a traditional company, like all the profits belong to the shareholders. Like we are saying, shareholders have right to 15% net profits, and the rest is for the team to decide how to distribute. Yeah, and the second question is, what kind of community we want to build is like, I really hope that this idea of quality goes through the community. Like everybody, we are in an ecosystem, we are competing with other ecosystems, right? There is the Zoho ecosystem, there is the Odoo ecosystem, there are several ecosystems we compete with. And I believe like the way we should compete is through quality. And I believe quality is magic, right? Because like I said, we live in this very uncertain world. Like we live in this world where there is no certainty about anything, but somehow quality feels magic because quality is certainty. Like when you do something, it will tell you, it will do exactly what you expect the product to do, or when you buy something, and this kind of consistency and quality is essentially magic, right? And I really hope all of us strive, right, to achieve excellent quality and create magic every day. So thank you.